Hey everyone, so now we will work on the rentals payments model. First of all, we have to join between the rental, the payment and the inventory tables. We will begin with the rental and the payment. So course Sakila payments rentals. Okay, so first of all, we have to bring the two sources. So we'll take the Google Sheets as usual. Rentals. I will take the address for sharing. But first convert to Google Sheet. Alright, our spreadsheet ID will be here. The range will be A to Z, get columns. Alright, we have here two dates that might not work from here. Let's try it. If not, we will return it to string and change it afterwards, because in these two dates we will use. So let's see, we have to save it here and then here and prepare and preview. Yeah, so as you can see, it didn't work from here, so we will handle the dates afterwards. So I will get the columns from the beginning. Right, I will save it, prepare and preview. Now we should see the dates. Alright, so now the dates are here. So next we will bring the payments as well. Okay, I will take again the address. Let's open the payments, payment, convert it to Google Sheets. Share. And let's take the spreadsheet ID. Here it is. And the sheet name and range. Get columns. The amount should be number. And the payment date, if we will want, we will handle with it afterwards, like the rentals. So I will save, and let's now do the join. So the rentals to the payments, rental ID is equal to rental ID, join and save. Prepare and preview. Perfect. Alright, next thing we have to do is to add a calculated column that calculates the rental time in hours. So let's check that. So add column, rental time hours. Let's look on that. This will be an integer or decimal. could be as well, so let's take the decimal. Alright, so let's see. In order to calculate the rental duration, we will have to take the rental date and the return date and see the difference in hours. So let's check the date time functions. I also remind you that we still didn't change the type of these two columns to be a date. We will check if in this function it works well also with this. If not, we will have to handle it separately. So let's look on the functions. Day-diff day, we want day-diff hours. So start date, end date. Returns the number of hours boundaries between two non-nullable dates. In this case, we will have to do also an if, and this is because the return date might be null, and we have here non-nullable. So the return date can be null because the movie still be on the rental. So we will use the if, and if it's null, we won't do this difference. So we will start with a logical, and we'll say like this: if the return date, so we will use this, is null, returns true if the specified value is null. So we want the is null and the return date. So if it's null, we want to return null as well. If not, we want to do our calculation. So we'll do the day-diff hours, and the start date will be the rental date and the end date will be the return date. Let's check that. Let's take one example to check. So here it was 24 of May and here it's 26 of May, approximately same hour, so it should be 2 days, so it should be approximately 48 hours. So we can see that it's 48 hours, and we also see that it returned us a rounded number, and this is fine for us for now. So in this case, although we didn't convert the return date and the rental date to dates, it worked fine. But I remind you, you have to check always the types, because it might not work well, as we already saw in previous model when we didn't change the length to number. So be careful and pay attention to that always. I will apply this. I want also to check for the return dates when they are null. We'll look on that on the prepared preview. I want to show you this as well. So perfect. Let's see another example. Let's look on the 26, for example. Let's see the dates. So the rental was 25 and the return was 26. This was on 12:30 and this was in approximately 3, so a bit more than 24 hours, so we have 26 hours, so that's fine. And I wanted to show you the nulls. So when the return date is blank, so the rental time is blank as well, because it's still on rental. Add column is returned. We have to create a flag column which will tell us if the is return is null or not. So it's more simple. We just have to check if it's null or empty. So we'll do call return flag. Column type will be integer and we call it is return. So we will take the logical is null or empty and we will put inside the return date. Here it will returns true if the specified string object is null or empty. So otherwise false. So we will use again the if, because we want to do it as 1 and 0. Let's see how it... Okay, so it's already do it as 1 and 0, as you can see. 0, and I will apply. Let's look also on nulls. Right, so as you can see, we have here the isReturn flag. Let's see the blanks on the return date. Okay, so it will be 0. So actually we did it the opposite, so it's have to be 0 when it's not returned, and when it's returned it should be 1. So we'll go back and I will add here an if that will make it the opposite way. So I will take the if. So if it's empty, so it will be true. So it means it's 0 because it's still on the customer, because it didn't return yet. But if it's not null, it means that it was returned, so we want it will be 1 because it is returned already. Just to make sure you understand that, the is null or empty is already a condition. It will return as true or false, so we don't have to apply here more conditions. So let's preview this, and now you will see that it will make it the opposite way. Perfect. Apply. Save. Perfect. And last thing we have to do is filter out data related to staff ID 3 from rentals. As staff ID 3 is used for test and demo data. We will add a filter. Okay, filter staff 3, and we will add here a condition. Staff ID from rentals. This is from the payments. We will delete non-relevant column afterwards. So when the staff ID is equal to 3. So actually we need the opposite. Staff ID does not equal to 3. So I will save this, and let's prepare and preview. I want to show you first here that we have the 3, and then I will show you in the last step that we don't have the 3. So here, as you can see, we have the staff ID 3, and here in the last step we will not have it. Staff ID, and we don't have the 3. Perfect. One thing that I forgot to do is to join to the inventory table. So you can do that in the middle, or you can add that at the end. It doesn't matter. So let's do it now. So file, inventory, add a file, the Google Sheets. I will copy the address as usual. Let's open it here. We have to convert that to Google Sheets. Let's share it. And now let's take the Google Sheet ID, add it here. Our sheet name is inventory, and A to Z, get columns, save, and now let's do the join. So we want to, so we have the join with the inventory. The join is the last table and it will also contain the columns we just added. That's fine. We will see that also in a second. So the inventory ID is equal to the inventory ID. Add join. I will save and let's prepare and preview. So here we have the inventory table and we can see that the rental time and the rental duration, all the columns we added is still here, and also we don't have here the staff ID 3 that we filtered out. So perfect. So actually this is it for this model. Thanks and see you on the next videos.